Good morning, Snipes Academy. It is Wednesday, September 22nd. I'm Mr. Yates, and this is Snipes Daily News. All right, everybody, welcome back to the middle of the week. I hope you've had a great week so far. Let's get into it with some weather. So, as of this recording, it is in the 70s, and it is raining. Unfortunately, we'll have more of the same throughout the day. It's probably going to rain all day. So again, sort of prepare for that, indoor recess and things like that. Today, for this day in history, we're going to talk about the Emancipation Proclamation. So on this day in history, September 22nd, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln issues a preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, which sets a date for the freedom of more than 3 million enslaved in the United States and recasts the Civil War as a fight against slavery. America's first Republican president, he avoided issuing an anti-slavery proclamation immediately, despite the urgings of the abolitionist Republicans, as well as his personal belief that slavery was morally repugnant. Finally, on September 22nd, the president announced that enslaved people in areas still in rebellion within 100 days would be free. He could have easily only enforced the Emancipation Proclamation in the states that remained in the Union. Instead, he was determined to win back those states, and with each state that he had victory, free enslaved peoples. Now, you all know that I love George Washington. George Washington, in my opinion, is the #1 president that the United States have ever had. He's certainly my favorite president. However, I can easily make a case for Abraham Lincoln being the best president the United States has ever had, if only because of the Emancipation Proclamation. As far as ideology goes, Washington gave America its heart, but Lincoln brought the promises of the Constitution to fruition and kept the nation together during the most tumultuous time in America's history. Since we're already talking about Abraham Lincoln, I thought I would use a quote from Abraham Lincoln for our quote of the day. So his quote goes like this: "Whatever you are, be a good one." Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because 100 years later, Martin Luther King Jr. said a very similar thing, except for in a longer, more eloquent form. So the quote from Martin Luther King is, "If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, 'Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well.'" Again, that's Martin Luther King. All of this to say, you should always strive for greatness in whatever you do, no matter what it is. Something, in Martin Luther King's words, as simple as being a street sweeper, or as memorable as being a composer. No matter what you do, be the best at it that you can be. Now let's move on to some birthdays. So today we only actually have one birthday today, and that would be Desalin Smith. So September 22nd, today, Desalin Smith turns 8. So if you see Desalin in the hallway, make sure you give her a very big happy birthday. And that'll about wrap things up for us today, guys. So I hope you all work very hard, learn as much as you can, and I will see you here tomorrow. This is Snipes Daily News.